Hey all you pilgrims on the Ascension journey. Travis Carper, Ascension Health Coach. Hey, today I want to talk about, I've talked about a bunch of other stuff but in the other videos, but let's just read a little bit of the new blog, Iridology, okay? Alchemical Wizard 36, Iridology. The science of iridology is based on the analysis of one of the most complicated tissue structures of our whole entire biological body, the iris. Iridology is based on the scientific study of the iris, which is the colored part of the eye, and its trabecular patterns. Like markings on a map, the iris reveals physiological conditions and psychological health risks and strengths of various organs and personality traits. The iris contains many nerve endings which are connected to the optic nerve, the base of the brain, and all of our bodily tissues. Hence, our neural circuitry of our eyes are able to express the continuity of our biological body. An integrated unit composed of various cells which all communicate with each iris about their overall wellness. A weakness in our body's tissues or organs often shows up in the eye before it shows up in medical tests. Okay, so the science and practice of iridology is not new. The oldest records uncovered have shown that a form of iris interpretation was used in Central Asia, Mesopotamia, as far back as 1000 BC, about 3,000 years ago. This information was found in cuneiform writing on tablets of clay from the civilization of Chaldea. The Greeks referred to this culture as the cradle of knowledge. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, was born in approximately 460 BC in Greece on the island of Kos. It is known that he looked into the eyes of his patients for health information. Right? Okay, so the first explicit description of iridology analysis principles are found in Chromatica Medica, a famous work published in 1665 and reprinted in 1670 and 1691 by Philippus Maes. The first known use of the word Ogden diagnostic eye diagnosis, loosely translated as iridology analysis, began with Ignaz von Pexley, a 19th century Hungarian physician. The German contribution in the field of iridology and natural healing is due to a minister, Pastor Felke, who developed a form of homeopathy for treating specific illnesses and described new iris signs in the early 1900s. Three Felke Institute in Gurgelen, Germany, was established as a leading center of iridology research and training. Iridology became better known in North America in the 1950s when Dr. Bernard Jensen began giving classes in his own iridology methods. This is in direct relationship with P. Johann Thiel, Edwin Lahn, and J. Haskell Kritzer. Dr. Jensen insisted on the importance of the body's exposure to toxins and the use of natural foods as detoxifiers. His work in nutrition, iridology analysis, and health kept iridology alive here in North America. Okay, so yeah, sorry about all the butchered names. Okay, so biometric technology that scans blood vessels and is at the beginning of other genetic markers, will catch up to this much older naturopathic health modality, iridology, right? It's really cool. Look into it. Do your own research, of course. There is no doubt that this advanced biometric technology for medical diagnosis is patented and sitting on the shelf as we speak. So that kind of technology is kind of catching up because, what did I just say? But as I have said before, Big Pharma doesn't want you to be healthy and to have your cognitive skills working optimally, right? So that biometric technology is getting, well, the ones patented sitting on the shelf probably already know the genetic markers and all of that. It's for security reasons, but there's actually a medical application to that and utilizing the old iridology, right? Really interesting stuff. Just, I mean, you know, my suggestion is go look into it. This is just a little blog, right? Okay, so yes, we have approximately 8 billion humans on Gaia, and there's no two irises alike, right? It can be said that the trabecular patterns in the irises are a unique combination of vibrational frequencies of our soul's consciousness. This information can in part be subconscious to our individual awareness, yet has direct influence on our physical, emotional, and thought processes, which is connected to our continual changing epigenetics in our unprecedented ascension process, right? The eyes are the window to the soul pattern, right? So the epigenetic health, right? Because it's changing. It's the environment that we're in, right? When you're stressed out at work, that's an epigenetic health issue, right? Because it's stressing your biofield physiology, your overall health, right? Mentally too, and that creates that wave pattern that actually stresses your physical biological body, your heavier, denser biological body, right? So that's why we talk in terms of like the frequencies that are happening in outside of you in the environment, and that are creating these factors in your health, right? So, and then in your eyes, they do this thing where all these eyes are different. Have you ever looked at different people's eyes? Really looked at them? It's very interesting. Okay, so I'll just read on. Iridologists and iridology practitioners conduct a non-invasive analysis of the iris of each eye and provide an assessment of the relative state of health, as well as recommendations based on findings. Through iridology, we can get an understanding of our past, present, and potential future health conditions by assessing the various biological body systems. Our inherited tendencies, compounded by toxic accumulations, right, in various parts of our body, are also revealed. It is a method whereby the naturopathic doctor or health practitioner or iridologist can tell from markings or signs in the iris the reflex condition of various organs and systems of the body. These markings represent a detailed picture of the integrity of our biological body, its constitutional potentials, areas of congestion or toxic accumulations, and inherent challenges and attributed gifts. While it can't necessarily diagnose diseases, it's extremely useful for understanding which areas of the biological body the health practitioner should pay attention to and which parts may be at risk for the development of certain ailments, right? It's right there. Just think about the bottom of your feet too, right? The meridian lines that run to your feet, your nervous system that runs at the bottom of your feet, right? In acupuncture and acupressure points at the bottom, well, there's to be seen right in the eye to the soul. What's happening to your soul, your biofield physiology, your overall health, right there, right? just an old, cool tradition that's been around for a long time. And yet we don't utilize these as much. Now, that's why I want you guys to might consider to look people up that utilize some of these older, healthy, natural, healthy modalities. These practitioners that utilize these things, okay? Because they can really help you and help you open up, okay? It's a suggestion to do your own research, of course. Let's look at what it can detect or diagnose for us. Liver damage, gallbladder issues, inflammation such as arthritis, digestive issues in our GIT, our gastrointestinal tracts, high cholesterol, allergies, problems with our lymph system, hypothyroidism, hypotension, our immune system, heart conditions, spleen, kidneys, and even our physical brain, and much more. Iridology is something to consider when looking for a naturopathic doctor or practitioner, which is a valuable asset when it comes to natural preventative health care or one's own holistic health lifestyle maintenance. Okay, so just another modality there to consider, right? The iridology, very interesting. Okay, so I know, because we're really trying to bring all these back up, because of course the Western medicine pharmaceutical companies want to sell you all of that and charge you tons and all of the insurance that you have to pay. We're talking, I know we have, it is actually in the long run, it's not as expensive to actually hit a naturopathic doctor, a chiropractor, or a massage therapist, or an acupuncture person, a Reiki, an energy, any kind of like energy healing. Look into it. You know, there's even Tibetan bowls where it's called clanking. They put those around your body and you get into the zone, which is actually the same thing as nowadays digitized, like the Solfeggio frequency meditations. And you can get into, well, do I want to listen to like a lower root chakra vibration to ground me, or do I want a higher crown chakra or soul star chakra master frequency, right? Frequencies, sound and frequency create vibrational patterns in the brain, the neurology here, right? So that's why people do the meditation, and they utilize the Solfeggio frequencies, the different meditation musics on the headphones to get into that zone, to get into that wavelength, to get into that vibration, to get into that frequency. That's why you always saw the ascended masters, right, meditating out in nature, right, because the circadian rhythm out in nature. I'm laughing because I say it all the time, because it's connected to the cosmic, right, where we're at. You're on top of a spaceship. You're on top of a planet flying around, right? So utilize what God, source, what we're here doing, right? Utilize nature, right? It's already there. Like the bark from the tree, right? It's already there. The shaman grabs a little bit of the bark from a tree, not too much, to destroy it, and says thank you. Gives it gratitude and says thank you for your bark. You pull out toxins out of the water systems and stuff, and if we put it in our body like the white willow bark, oh my gosh, my headache went away, because it went into your bloodstream and opened up and helped you with your what is it called? I don't know, I forgot. Your capillaries, open up your capillaries more so that you don't have a headache. So yes, instead of buying synthesized drugs, okay? I'm all about that. You know that. I know I'm talking to the peanut gallery out there again. Okay, so enough. I just wanted you guys to know about that one too. The new Iridology blog, if you want to read it and then do some further research into it. Interesting stuff. Okay, that's it. And everyone, try not to have any fears. There's going to be a lot more hidden things coming up, especially the new scandal, the pedo Pizzagate, Spygate, all of that's coming out, and the Maxwell, right, and her, there'll be probably a trial, maybe even on mainstream media, because I saw some articles, mainstream media articles actually. So hopefully that will come out and expose a lot of the darker truths. It's pretty sickening. The children around the globe that get, the slaves and the human trafficking. It's been going on for a very long time. But anyways, ground yourself then holistically, high frequency foods, structured water, keep hydrated, especially in the summertime, and don't wear a mask because you might get a heat stroke. Okay? That's another thing why not to wear a mask, especially it's like heat stroke. And besides, you're sucking back in your CO2 and it's doing nothing anyways. I mean, there's bacteria floating around everywhere. We're not in an operation room where it's highly sterilized, okay? I mean, it's out and about. It's better to just stay healthy and to actually get oxygen and nitrogen and all argon and all these, and then suck in all the bacteria that's floating, right, into your avatar and on top of your skin. It's all over the place. You're not Howard Hughes. It's turning people into Howard Hugheses and germaphobes, right? Which is ridiculous, okay? It's germ theory. It's called germ theory for a reason, okay? So please out there, people, do your own research into it. Anton B. Camp, cellular theory. Look back into the real writings of Florence Nightingale, that whole thing, because it's like Tesla and Edison, right? They always change the narrative and then they kill that person. Basically, he dies in obscurity. Same thing happened to Anton B. Camp, right? So they always change the narrative. So try to dig into that, yes, the WHO is corrupted. Yes, the CDC is corrupted. Yes, all of these things, because obviously there's only a few people that own the pharmaceutical companies as well. They don't want you to be healthy, okay? So that's why we're always talking about this, especially during this ascension process, is to help you. Yes, you're ringing in your ear. Yes, because there's a higher frequency. You're moving into a higher frequency, and cymatics, that science of sound and frequency, changes. It's a transmutational change in the DNA structure, right? Think of a tadpole in the swamp area, right? In a swamp, and there's always the crickets, and there's a high-pitched sound when you go to a swamp, right? And then the tadpole turns into a frog, okay? It's about the electromagnetic fields and the electromagnetic frequencies, okay? So the same thing can happen to your biological body. This is all not set in stone. Morphogenetic waves are running all over, and they're all connected, okay? And all these particles are floating around, and subatomic particles, right? The adamantine particle, right? That is like one neutron, right? These are all things that can change, right? They've, the quantum realm, the quantum fields, okay? So all different kinds of descriptions for things. You can go into it. What was I saying? So yes, please look into, if you don't know already, obviously, it's obviously that they had a certain test kit for something, and then they smudge all the statistics. Just ground yourself and stay holistically healthy, which means your spirit, your emotions, your biological body, your mental body. That's why you stay away from the programming, the Pavlovian program. That television set was, and the 6 companies that own everything, and that narrative, because it creates a brainwave pattern. So deprogram, feed your soul, feed your mind with good positive self-help books if you must. All the Solfeggio frequency meditations, and out in nature. Get out in nature, go for a walk. Yes, don't wear a mask out in nature because the fresh air out here will actually help your biological body, okay? We already went through that one. I already talked about it. Okay. Stay grounded during these times, especially, and please do all the things that nurture you, nurture your soul, nurture your mind, nurture your body, especially coming up for the rest of this year 2020. Okay? There's a lot of things that are going to be exposed. All right. Over and out.